I want to be present. I want to be relevant. I want to be able to communicate with humans. And so the 2 hours I spend a day learning is because if you are not learning things and expanding that knowledge base, you're only going to make friends with the same kind of people you've always made friends with. A couple of years ago, the guy who did a lot of our branding spent a ton of time in Photoshop. And I'm like, man, there's so many tools in Photoshop. Like if I could just get a basic understanding. So I bought Photoshop. I asked him to spend some time with me. And for literally about a month and a half, every morning I was screwing around in Photoshop. I still suck at Photoshop. But now I understand what can be accomplished in Photoshop.
Yep.
Sometimes it drives my team crazy because I think it's easier than it is or faster than it should be. But ultimately, that learning has enabled me to now see the world through a different lens and understand. And part of my real strength is relationship capital and how I make friends with as many humans as possible. What is the easiest way to make friends with someone? Get involved
smile.
And get involved in a conversation, right? If I know something that is really passionate, if you're passionate about Photoshop because you're a branding expert, and I have a elementary education on it where I can talk a little bit about it, and I've played with it and fumbled with it and have done things, we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
And immediately find common ground. So by me spending that windshield time learning all these different things, like right now I've been learning about ChatGPT and reading stuff about it. Not because I ever plan on really figuring out how I'm going to use it. I don't necessarily know. I'm sure it's going to impact my life, but I need to understand it because it's a hot topic. Yeah. It's what's trending in the world right now. TikTok. I have a full disclosure. I post on TikTok, but I don't do it myself. I have someone who does that for me, and I don't really understand TikTok. But there's a huge debate on should it be banned. You know, whether or not I have an opinion on that is irrelevant. I want to understand why is there such a big debate? What's going on? What's going on in the world? I want to be present. I want to be relevant. I want to be able to communicate with humans. I want to improve that. And so the 2 hours I spend a day learning is because if you are not learning things and expanding that knowledge base, you're only going to make friends with the same kind of people you've always made friends with. Yeah. And I want to be able to walk into any social circle and get involved in any conversation and be able to talk intelligently about anything. That's what I want to be. So that learning is what allows me to do that. And by doing that, I make friends in different social circles. I make friends with different kind of perspectives and how people see the world in different groups. And then that allows me to figure out opportunities that may benefit my companies, myself, or others through that social network.
Right.
Right. So there's a meaning. There's an ends to the a means to the end. Let me say that better.
Yeah,
there's a means to the end as to why. But it also is great because I get smarter. Right. Like learning as a kid sounds the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Now I wish I knew everything. I wish I had a photographic memory. Do you know how many cool conversations I could get into if I had a photographic memory? You know, but like I ask a lot of questions. Like we were talking pre-show just about your background, and I ask a lot of questions. I want to know. I want to understand. I want to learn. I want to hear. I want to get exposed. I want to hear why things work and don't work. I want to hear, you know, wins and losses from other people. It's all experience. I don't know if I'm going to ever use it. I don't care. I want to learn. So yes, I try to spend 2 hours a day learning. I try to watch documentaries. If I'm going to watch TV, I try to watch, I love documentaries. I love all true stories, even if they're, you know, not a documentary, but it's actors portraying based on a true story.
Yeah.
I love all those.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them. I mean, if there's one of them out there, I'll watch it. I just like that stuff. And, you know, my favorite show is The Men Who Built America. It's a fantastic series. If you haven't seen it, it is, I mean, it'll knock your hair back. Like it's really, really amazing. It's just the story about some of the pillars of America, and it goes into Vanderbilt, and it goes into Carnegie, and it goes into Rockefeller, and it goes into Ford and JP Morgan, and how they built their companies at such pivotal times in our country's history, and how the whole country got shaped as a result of it. The next one is the food that built America and the cars that built America, and they're all incredible.
Yeah.
But those things just fascinate me, and learning that how these real pioneers did what they did, because that's kind of what an entrepreneur is. You know, my main way that I make money in this world is I'm a problem solver. And how do you solve problems? By having the right tool to solve the problem.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you like content like this, go to the description below. The full video should be there. And do not forget to like and subscribe. 97% of the people that watch this channel are unsubscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. It does a lot for the channel, and it gives you more content like this. Have a good one.